Hello, everyone. Welcome to St James's Park. This is the first time I've done this. So if you can give me 2 seconds, there, have a logo. Hopefully that will come on in a tick. There it is. And then I'll like this, which has the delightful news of Norwich's rounds off the verdict, but it is pre-season, so it's a time to try things out and see if they work, which is what Norwich City have done today. And it did for a bit and didn't for other bits. And there are plenty of complicating factors in all that here. But long story short, Norwich's pre-season is over. There's Steve Bruce, by the way, one of the last people to have won major silverware with Norwich City, of course. Yes, Norwich, it was goalless at half-time. I thought the first half was fairly even. Norwich had good possession. Newcastle did have their moments. It was probably a bit more balanced than, say, the league game here in February 2020, which was the last time I was at an away game with fans, to be honest, like proper fans, but like as in a lot of them. Norwich had some good early moments. Newcastle created a couple of moments later on in the second half. And it was competitive. I mean, this is obviously the last pre-season friendly for both clubs, I would assume for Newcastle, certainly for Norwich, against a divisional rival. So it wasn't quite as straightforward as just being a pre-season friendly. You knew there was a bit more in it. And you could sense that at times. What I would say then is obviously Norwich have got major squad issues in terms of COVID, self-isolation rather than injuries. And that became apparent through the fact Norwich just didn't have many changes to make. They made one or two. Over the course of the second half, Teemu Pukki, Jakob Sorensen, Kenny McLean got some minutes. But Newcastle could make a lot more changes, and they made some very good ones because they have a lot of quality still. And that's the thing about the Premier League. Even the teams where you look and go, oh, Norwich have to finish above them, they have a lot of quality. So Alan Saint-Maximin was, to be honest, untouchable. Norwich couldn't deal with them. And from the second half, Newcastle played with a greater tempo, purpose, and gears that Norwich really never got close to, which maybe all the extenuating circumstances is what we should have all expected. And Daniel Farke himself said it was something he probably felt was something to expect. So difficult in that regard, not ideal. The goals came in the second half. It was sort of a scrappy goal that Callum Wilson was holding up the ball and Norwich didn't get it clear and Matt Ritchie poked it home. Then Saint-Maximin had a real impact in the two other goals that were both scored by Dwight Gale. The first was a lovely finish, and the second, with the outside of his foot, I think, as Norwich lost the ball, Billy Gilmore gave it away, I think it was. And Newcastle broke really quickly and effectively. And then the second one, likewise, the ball played out wide. Manquillo was wonderful cross and just Dwight Gale getting in front of his defender. I'd have to see back which one it was, and just poking beyond Tim Krul. So great penalty box movement, and nothing that I didn't think last season as I was watching the Championship. The level of that quality in front of goal is very different. And what I would say is Norwich, they looked reasonably secure for good periods in the first half, but all game I thought they struggled in the final third. Adam Eder can obviously chip in with goals, but if you just listen to, again, what Daniel Farke said after the Gillingham win, there is so much more Adam Eder needs to do to be part of an effective attack, as well as keeping that goal threat. Teemu Pukki got some minutes in the second half, so that's good. All of this I'm saying comes with the caveat that this is pre-season. I mean, you read into it what you will, and there's not much more you can do because it wasn't competitive. And as the second half wore on and Newcastle were winning and flying into tackles and pulling people back and getting bookings, you sense from Norwich that it's like, well, it's like pre-season game, boys. So it's difficult. It is difficult to judge, and it always is in pre-season. So there we go. I think, what I would say with Norwich's attacking line, and you could see that they were playing without someone like Emi Buendia, and then you have to remind yourself they're also playing without, one of the replacements. Norwich, I believe, will complete the signing of Josh Sargent this week. Whether he'll be available for Liverpool is a different matter. All of the players who've been out, either through a positive COVID test, like Milot Rashica, or self-isolating due to a close contact, they will be back for training at the start of this coming week. So it's then down to how they look in training, really, as to whether they're involved against Liverpool. And of course, it's worth bearing in mind that for those double jabbed players after the 16th, if you are in close contact with someone who tests positive, you won't have to self-isolate. You may just need to test. Without wishing to get into the double vaccination and vaccination arguments, that will have an effect and would mean this situation wouldn't happen, basically, if a player was double jabbed during the course of the season. There's a lot of figuring out going on, and let's be clear, it's been a really difficult pre-season, really, for Norwich. They've missed games. I was at the game against Gillingham, so that was interesting to see. But again, it's impossible to judge whether they're good tests or not, never mind what the actual result of those tests is. Worth pointing out, Norwich did play a 3-4-2-1 and then a 3-4-1-2 when McLean came on and sort of played as a 10. So we are seeing different formations that I think those two we may well see quite a bit of. We've obviously got 3-5-2, a more flat 3-5-2. We know Daniel likes 4-2-3-1, 4-1-4-1. 4-4-1-1, so there's going to be quite a few flavors. I think they also played with 4-3-3 against and then a 4-3-2-1 against Gillingham. So I like that. I like that they're bringing in those options and they're going to be around. I think it's going to be really important for Norwich to have those going into next season, because the tactical flexibility just wasn't there 2 seasons ago. Then it will come down to the personnel and how they carry it out, of course. And again, we're probably not in a position where we can judge that right now. So lots in play. The one probably sizable blow really today is that Todd Cantwell rolled his ankle in training. No, he's not going to Aston Villa. He won't be going to Aston Villa this transfer window. But he has rolled his ankle. So they've had a scan. They're hoping that it might not be too bad. It's only minor. So hopefully he'll be available for Liverpool. But again, he's in amongst the ones who haven't had a lot of pre-season action. So that's a tricky element, and it means he might miss it. As I said, Josh Sargent is on touch and go whether he would be available for Liverpool, and that would be a big deal, throwing him in to that kind of situation. Christos Zolis? Apologies, I have been off for 2 weeks. Christos Zolis. I haven't worked on what that pronunciation should be yet. That's in the background as well. That is a deal I would expect, but couldn't say for definite will be confirmed in the next couple of weeks. We'll have to see how it plays out. So yeah, it's a little bit of movement there, but nothing else particularly close. So waiting game for the rest of it. But it would just be nice for Norwich. There we go. Don't know what happened there. This is a trial, pre-season trial live. But yeah, Norwich got very difficult pre-season. I hope this has worked because I'm not pre-recording it and putting it up like I have been doing. So I'll try and do this in future. But yeah, so there we go. Norwich have lost. Let's not reflect on it too long. We didn't want to get too carried away about Gillingham. I certainly didn't, nor did I want to about Kings Lynn. So nor should we here. But thinking about it, probably a good exercise in what Norwich are going to come up against, and B, not getting carried away over where they are. I think there needs to be eyes wide open, and this certainly helped with that. So yes, away we go. Have a great last week. I'm sure there'll be some stuff over at The Athletic. If check in there for my Alan Bowkett interview if you haven't read it. That went live last week, and it was a pleasure to see him. The On The Ball podcast will hopefully be back on Monday evening. And hopefully on this channel live. That's what we're working on, doing that as a live podcast and then on all the podcast streams and feeds as usual. That's the plan. Hopefully it works. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. I hope you've had a wonderful summer. I hope you're ready and raring to go for whatever this season has in store. And we look forward to it all playing out. Keep your questions, comments coming in. I will read them. I'm not going to do them live on this, but I will try and do a green room live Q&A over the course of the weeks of the season. All the usual stuff. You know where I am. So thank you for seeing me here. And we go again. I'm going to turn off the score because we've seen quite enough of that, haven't we? I'm going to turn off my logo. I'm going to do all this live and talk you through it. And I'm going to wish you a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I can't wait to see you all back inside Carrow Road, a full Carrow Road on Saturday night. That's going to be mental, isn't it? Even this today, with I don't know, was it 20,000 And I think Newcastle fans made a lot of noise, and they do make a game a real living, breathing experience, which is different when it's empty, I have to say. So away we go. Have a lovely weekend. I will see you next week, and hopefully I can figure out a way of turning this off discreetly. Take care of yourselves, and see you soon. Have a great week. Here comes the football season.